just love how like other countries sort of look up to Australia, and like since we're like a new country, it's kind of good.
What's iconic about Australia? God, I can't do this. I just can't think of anything.
I don't know. I mean, sometimes it's that odd thing, a reflection on the 30s or 40s that you think is iconic simply because you're looking back in time, but I don't know if that's particularly iconically Australian, really. Oh, you know, the beach is supposedly iconically Australian.
Live by the beach, grow up by the beach.
Relaxing at the beach with friends, maybe a barbecue.
I don't know, everyone imagines Australia as a very warm place, so the beach helps you cool down, I suppose.
Maybe it got into my subconscious. Yeah, iconic Australian.
Oh, there's so many things. I love Australia.
I love the outdoors. Yeah. And I see that reflected in a lot of the artwork too.
Blue gum forest. Every Australian or new Australian should go to Blue Gum Forest once in their lives. It's the quintessential Australian cathedral.
The loneliness and quite stark feeling of being there. It's sort of more than rural, it's really outback. It's sort of...
I think that compared to North America and Europe, the landscape its beauty is very subtle.
The skies and just the ruggedness and barrenness of the landscape.
That really white light that seems to come down from directly above you that you don't really see in other countries at all. And I sort of feel like the noise of cicadas and that really white light and not very shady trees is really the iconic Australian experience for me in the summertime.
It's such a beautiful place. It's such a vast, land. You can basically, you can do whatever you want.
The feeling of isolation in Australia, that they are an island, we are a big island. We have to stop that. We have to exchange ideas with other countries in everything, not only in food.
Yes, food. Food is one thing.
Sometimes you walk out in the afternoon, I don't see people walking in the streets. There's no mentality of walking. I'm working now in a small town. Everyone go to the office by car.
We're so isolated from the rest of the world. Yes. But it's a plus too. We're just different.
How there's lots of poison things. Snakes, redbacks, all that stuff.
Sharks.
The birds, the flocks of birds. And in the summer I used to swim in the local pool at 6 o'clock in the morning, and just the flocks of birds going over as you're swimming up and down this beautiful pool.
Emperor penguins in a David Attenborough documentary, because when David Attenborough's in some sort of orange suit and he's standing in the middle of the Antarctic, and suddenly from nowhere all of these pairs of emperor penguins come up closer and want to look at him, and that's what I think Australians are like. They're really curious and really nosy, and that's why I like them.
Hopefully we have a bit of a give it a go attitude. Still, I'm not sure, but that would be nice to think it is.
I don't get that feeling so much about it necessarily being Australian. I don't know.
What's iconic about Australia? The fact that nothing is iconic about Australia, actually, and I think that's a really great thing, because if you think about, all the really cliched things that are about Australia, like the bush and the beach and stuff, Australia's actually much, much more than that, and we're this great mesh of cultures, so much so now that it's almost, you can almost not identify one particular one. And so there's nothing iconic about Australia, but that's the most iconic thing about it, which is awesome.